We have 17 people watching right now, so I think we will go ahead and get started if everybody is ready. But welcome. So happy to have you guys join. We have so many new things planned for this webinar, and we're just really excited to share what we've been working on. It's been a while, I know, since the last webinar that we've had. So we're about to for another update from us, and we have so much to share today. I'm really excited for you guys. My name is Emmy. Some of you may know me already from the Devs on Wix Discord or the Wix Studio Discord under the developers little tab that we have. I'm a developer advocate on the developer relations team, and I am joined by many friends, Yoav, also from my team, or from the app builder team, and Dor from the CLI team, and also Tuvit from the DevRel team is also here. So real quick to get started, here's the agenda. We're going to start with a recap. So we've had a lot of exciting changes in the past few months, as you guys have seen, and Yoav is going to give us a reminder of everything that's happened so far. And it's all going to make a lot more sense, I think, after we talk about why we're doing everything and what the future might look like for our developers. Next, we're going to have Dor talk about the new Wix CLI, which we have a lot of comments and questions and curiosities about, and he's going to be able to answer them. And if he doesn't get to your questions and you have more burning questions, we will be having office hours in our Discord server this Thursday in 2 days. So Dora will be attending for that office hour session and will be able to answer any further questions everyone has. Or we can just talk about how we feel about the CLI and discuss where it's going. And then really exciting section, we have Or, who will be talking about the AI app builder and giving us a sneak peek of this brand new, never before seen feature. I think you guys might be the first to see this demo, so I'm really excited to hear what you guys think. And then we'll wrap it up by going back to Yoav, who's going to give us an overview of what we're thinking for developers, what we envision life for developers in the future, and how they're going to work with Wix. We've also gotten a lot of questions from the community, which is a big reason of why we're doing this webinar, for transparency and to let you guys know what we're up to. I know that this information is really important to a lot of you, so we want to stay as transparent as we can. So we do have a few pre-selected FAQs that we're going to answer at the end of the presentation. We will not be taking any live FAQs, unfortunately, but if it's a really straightforward question, I can see if we can answer in chat real quick. But feel free to leave questions still, and we could get back to them later. I think I will start a thread in our Discord server that maybe can compile a list of questions about this presentation if you guys are interested. So stay tuned for that. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it to Yoav, who's going to give us a recap of what new things we've been up to in the past few months.
So thank you, Emmy, and hi everyone. It's really cool to see so many familiar faces. I've just got on my other screen the chat, and also to see many new faces. So hi and welcome to everyone who's watching both this live, and if you're watching this recorded, then thank you for tuning in and also watching and getting updated on what's been new. I kind of want to backtrack as to a few months ago into a couple of things that we started to change in Wix. We're going to start off with that process of moving over to a single SDK. This is roughly 8 months ago up until today. So we started and we're continuously working to a single SDK for Wix. This means that if you're a site/Velo developer, if you're an app developer, headless, you're working on Vibe, all the methods and the implementation of the SDK is now a lot more aligned than it used to be, and we're working more to align everything as much as possible. You'll also notice that our docs have been going through many, many, many changes to make them easier to navigate, and we're still pushing this effort as much as possible. We're adding features also to our documentation that align with this. So things like the change log, and within the change log, the RSS feed, where you can subscribe to get the updates that you need. And if you haven't seen those features, I highly recommend looking at our change log and subscribing so you can understand exactly what's changing on the platform when it happens. And generally, anything that you have seen in the docs or working in the docs that you've sent us as feedback, um, things that may still have been misaligned, or anything that you've seen as a gap, we really, really do appreciate that. So we do encourage you to use the feedback features. There was this helpful feature in the doc, and also send dev in our dev feedback channel on Discord any feedback that you see. We really do appreciate it. The next thing that many of you probably remember that we released is the MCP. This is a game changer for anyone who's working in a local IDE, and generally with the AI tools as well. We launched this, and it delivers a couple of actually amazing skills. Number one is the ability to manage your website directly from within your IDE. And the best example I can give of this is to create a CMS collection directly within your IDE. Once it invokes the MCP, you can go and manage your dashboard, many things in your dashboard without changing context or going to a different screen. And the second thing, of course, is development. So when you're developing any sort of headless solution, anything that uses the Wix documentation, you can do so with the Wix MCP, with the knowledge that it's actually invoking everything it needs to in order to use the most updated SDK and code snippets and so on and so forth. So all of those things that you know that you need to implement, and have been like bugging you, like that you don't want to do manually and so on and so forth. If you haven't tried the MCP, this is a game changer for velocity. And here as well, we strongly encourage you to use it, to try it, and also to give us feedback on it. The next thing is Wix Vibe. So we launched Vibe, and this is still in beta, as our AI prompt first based approach to generating Wix headless sites with fully open source code as a code base. And this is also hosted on Wix. So unlike the sites that are built in Studio, this is delivering a code base based on TypeScript with a content edit experience. And again, we do encourage you to try it if you haven't. This also allows you the flexibility to connect to GitHub, to work locally. And if we tie everything in together, the MCP and GitHub and Vibe, you get a lot more flexibility in terms of how you want to develop your front end based on the Wix headless solutions and the back end. So this is still using the infrastructure of Wix. It's using integrations and pushes to production on Wix with the entire back end and the dashboard supporting the front end that you want to develop. Next, the new Wix CLI. So I don't want to steal Dor's thunder in the next session, so I'll leave this for him to discuss. This is a unified experience to develop apps and sites. And again, Dor will talk about this in more depth. The next thing that we've been working on is a lot more integrations with third-party AI and developer tools, things like N8N, just as an example that we see here, but we also have integration with Claude. Our MCP can be installed and used there. We have an integration, one click install within the cursor directory. And there are more things coming. I can promise you that. We can hint at ChatGPT and other things where you'll see Wix integrated a lot better with a lot more tools also and capabilities. And again, this is a place where I encourage you, if you want to see us integrating any of our tools in any other platform that you are using on a day-to-day basis, we do encourage you to reach out to us and tell us about it, tell us the need. Send us any information that you have about where you would like to see Wix in terms of our tools. Again, AI first and developer tools, and we'll be happy to investigate and also work to integrate them. The final thing, the more recent thing that's come out just a couple of weeks ago, is Wix Harmony. This is the first and by no means the last of our new launches for 2026. And I think what's news here for developers is that this is a new infrastructure on which a lot of our users will be building websites. And this is where, again, I don't want to steal the thunder from Or, who will be showing you what this means for you in terms of developing apps, but we do want to show you how you will be able to take advantage of it. So this is really, really in a nutshell, the things that we've been working on that we can present at the moment. I promise you there's a lot more. But I mean, we can go to the next slide because here I think is something that we want to put out there in terms of transparency and like how, how we're working, how we have been working and how we want to work moving forward. And we are calling these our core values because it does mean a lot for us to know for us to know that that this is what we're looking at. First and foremost, flexibility. We want to allow you guys to develop the way you want. Okay, so be it a studio experience or be it a headless experience in terms of developing apps, also the various different options that you have in terms of developing apps. But we want you to be able to develop the way you want. Now, this also ties into workflows and how these are changing, and we can talk about that. And again, we'd love to hear how you're changing your workflows so we can adapt our tools better to suit you. But definitely that's at the forefront of what we're thinking about. The second thing is efficiency. Okay, yes, we do want to be, and we are AI first because AI is supercharging velocity. It's breaking glass ceilings. There's a lot of things that are happening with it very, very quickly, but we do not want to compromise the standards that we have for our tools, what you need to deliver to your clients. We want to make sure that we are staying at the top of the field in terms of leading when it comes to also both AI and being a robust and robust place that you can build your applications and generally your web solutions on. And the third thing, and I think this is, if you ask me, probably the most important, is we want to be as aligned as possible with industry standards because you guys will be working with lots of other tools. You'll be working with Wix, and when we say TypeScript and you're using TypeScript now on Wix, this is going to be serving you a lot better than it has until now. So all these three things are what's leading us. Again, we'll talk about the new things that are coming out now. I'll hand it off to Dor in a second. And we hope that 2026 is going to be a very, very, very exciting year for everyone. You've seen now where we've come from. We're going to now move on to Dor, who's going to show us what we're working on right now, and then we'll talk about the future in a little bit. So I'll probably just hand it off directly to Dor.
Hi, thanks. I'm from the Wix CLI team. If you've never used the Wix CLI, I highly encourage you to do so. It's our all-in-one development framework in Wix, both for app development and for headless site development. You can check it out in the docs. It's a complete experience that provides both hosting, scaffolding, live development preview, countless of endless features, which I can't go over all of them in this webinar. So we're going to be joining the office hours. We're going to be uploading tutorials. We're going to do everything we can to help you get around all of the features that it supports. What I do want to do now is show you a quick video of a project that I've built using the new Wix CLI. And then we're going to go over the code base a bit, just the features that I'm using, the things that I've used to actually implement the project, and the features that I have. Then we're going to talk about the CLI for those who've been using it before, the new CLI and why we made the change in the new CLI and what we have upcoming in store for us. So the project that we're going to be covering is an AI shopping assistant. Basically, this is an assistant that lives in our users' website for their visitors to get smart AI product recommendations based on their search terms and based on their requirements. So we have our code base that I've built with the Wix CLI. I'm going to show off the user flow, and then we're going to cover the code itself. So in terms of the user flow, what we have is basically the npm run dev command, right, which bootstraps the CLI's development server, and then the user can open, our developer can open the dashboard. Now this dashboard is where the site owner will basically configure and adjust everything that they need and can with the assistant itself. So they can adjust the theme of the assistant. They can get a live preview right here in the dashboard of how the assistant will look like, customize the size of the button, the shape, everything. And they can also customize which categories from their shop is included in the recommendations, the budget tiers, what counts as low, medium, or high budget for their specific store. They can save all of that, and then we can jump on to where their visitors will go, which is the actual live site, where they will see this pop-up button that will accompany the site, where they can open it. discuss with the AI. In this case, I want the AI to help me choose a product. It asks for the budget. I'm going to say around 200 or so. And then once it asks me what I'm looking for, I'm going to say something that is related to flowers. It's just free text, nothing that I need to be specific about. And at this moment, my requirements and my answers are being headed to an LLM, in this case, OpenAI LLM, that will analyze this, cross-section it with the products and the included categories that I've defined in the store and with the budget tiers that it categorized, and will hopefully find relevant products, but not only relevant products fitting my requirements, also the explanation on and the reasoning of why the AI actually thought that this is a valid and fitting product to my requirements. So in this case, in this example, it gave me like a vase, it gave me a flower print, which says that it's a great way to bring nature indoors, and it gave me a flower pillow. Each of them is also clickable, and once it's clicked, it directs you automatically to the product page for this product so that you can complete the purchase and go on with your day. Now, this is a pretty cool experience. This is a pretty cool application. And the way that we've built it is that if I go over to the code base here, I'm going to touch the main capabilities and the main features that I've used in my code here. So jumping onto the SRC directly, there's a lot of code here that obviously I won't cover all of it, but jumping onto the SRC, I have my backend APIs. My backend APIs are my logic, are my brain of the application. So I have my config. Now my config is get and post API, basically to get set the user, the site owner's configuration and settings that they define for the assistant. What they do is basically work on top of Wix data collections. Now, if you've used the CLI, you knew that this is a gap that we had, and this is quite a new feature and a very exciting one that now, as an app developer using the CLI, you can use Wix data collections and CMS collections as your personal database for the application, and you do not need to integrate any external provider of database. The way that I can do that is if I take a look at the extensions that I'm using in my app. Now, alongside my front end and regular dashboard and site extensions, I have a new CMS extension, which is a data component that I defined for my application. It has the collections array, and for each collections, the fields, everything that I'm configuring, budget config, etc. And every user that will install my application will get this collection added to their site with this schema, which I can then safely query and write to in my code. So this is quite nice and a very good improvement for the quality of life. And next to my config API, I have my recommend API, which is what is doing the heavy lifting of processing. So basically it gets all of the users' answers and requirements. It queries Wix data, my CMS collection, to get the configuration of budgets and categories. It queries Wix stores to get all of the products I have in my store. And then thanks to the hosting solution of the CLI, allowing us to store our secrets safely, I can use my OpenAI key and use the SDK to query any LLM that I want. That's for the backend, CMS collection, backend APIs. Alongside that, I have my two front-end extensions, which are my dashboard page, the React component that represents the dashboard page that the site owner uses and configures, a standard React component using Wix design system, nothing too difficult to do, and my embedded script, which is being used in the site itself and injected to the live site for visitors to see. The cool part, in my opinion, in this is the fact that for both the dashboard and the site, the embedded script for both of the extension, I'm basically reusing one React component, which is the assistant, and I'm just wrapping it with different overlays, with different wrappers, one for the dashboard, one for the live site, and most of the application's code, most of the heavy lifting is done in one single component, which is reused. So that's like how I've built it and like what it is composed of, not how I've built it, because how I've built it is with my AI agent that I like to use. In this case, I'm using Claude, as you can see from this .claude directory that I have in my code base. The nice thing here is that an app like this used to take quite the investment of both of time and development. And in this case, I've built it, I think, like in the same day, 0 to what you just saw in the same day. And thanks to the fact that the CLI now gives me an all-in-one, one-stop shop for the database, for the backend APIs, for everything. And I did not need to connect an external provider for this, which was quite easy for my AI agent to now just scaffold and use the CLI, but also thanks to the new AI agent skills that we now have in Wix for the Wix CLI, all of its extensions, everything that your AI agent needs to know. This is now coming out of the box with every new Wix CLI project that you create, and it fitting the AI agent that is installed on your machine and you're using for the AI agent to actually know everything it needs in order to quickly generate and easily generate everything in the CLI without failing. So that's a pretty cool thing that we're very proud of. And the last and very nice thing in this, which will lead me into the new CLI change for those who've been using the old one, is that the transition from, if you are an headless developer and not an app developer, but everything that you've seen in this project seems good to you, and you also want your own custom dashboard page, and you also want your own CMS collection defined in code, and your backend API and everything, the transition from this code base to an headless code base with all of those capabilities is simply adding your front-end pages, because everything is now using the same Wix CLI, which is already built using Astro for those backend functions, and everything is already pre-made here and ready to use. So just adding Astro pages for your front end will let you jump from this to headless website of your own and using these backend APIs and capabilities. Now, in this moment, I will stop sharing my screen. This is a segue to the new CLI, the thing that we call internally a unified CLI, and the change that we made. Now, thanks, Sammy. Now, why the change, and what is the direction that we're taking with it, and what we want, and what's our agenda around it? Now, we had quite a huge leap. Okay, there was a huge jump in not doubling down, but tripling down on Wix CLI based development in Wix. The Wix vibe that Yoav showed in the beginning that we've released is using the CLI to power it as its infrastructure for headless development. Same CLI you just seen in my screen share. The sneak peek of the new product that is launching that Or will show is again using the CLI as infra and as its backbone. And this is just one of the many products in Wix that now started using the Wix CLI as its basic build tool infrastructure to develop and create things for users. The reason being that the CLI is a very, going with Yoav's, what he showed, our directives, the things that we want to follow. The CLI provides a very standard way to develop anything, and any AI agent can quickly and easily generate anything that the CLI requires, as the requirements from the CLI are very standard code base and very standard coding requirements, and the CLI does the magic for the AI, so the AI doesn't need to know every internal piece or everything that it needs to heavy lift a Wix product. So we are taking the CLI, we are putting everything we can on it, and all of the products are based on it. Now, what does it mean for you is that we now have most of our focus on the CLI for features, for improvements, for everything that we can do now not only goes to app and headless developers, but also to all of Wix users. So we are putting all of our focus in the team on it to make it the best product fitting for everything that Wix needs. And that's why we also made it a unified experience that will be able to supply the needs of all of those products, but also we will be able to maintain one product that we can make sure is the best for every feature in Wix. So that's from that perspective. Moving forward, we have a lot more things to do. The CLI, in my opinion, as of tomorrow, is a production-ready product, and we're going to be updating this in the docs. The new CLI will be our main focus, our main thing that we recommend users to use and developers to use. And we're going to be integrating countless of endless features to it. We're going to be supporting we're going to make it more accessible and more approachable for AI agents, so we can have AI first development. We're going to touch different frameworks and see how we can expand the variety of things we have for headless developers, and a lot more to come. So that's from the CLI.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dor. That was a really cool demo. I've been getting so many questions about the CLI, and I'm seeing more questions about it in the chat. Just to reiterate, Dor will be dropping more exclusive information about the CLI in office hours on Thursday, and you can ask him any remaining questions that you might have. So moving forward, we're going to have Or with the new AI app builder. This is going to be such an exciting portion, and I'm really excited for you guys. I'll pass it to Or.
Thank you, Amy. Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. I'm Or, I'm a product manager, and today I'm going to show you a short glimpse to a new workspace that we are working on, the app builder. This new workspace is actually, we took the same capabilities as you know from the app dashboard and layers on new tools to expedite projects. These new tools includes AI Assistant. It includes online IDE with full GitHub integrations and also a real-time preview. And now I'm going to show you a short demo that will present all of the mentioned. Okay. So this is a very new environment. You can also start with a template, but today I'm going to start with a prompt, and I'm asking the AI to create a widget that shows the weather in New York City currently. And it directs me to the new environment, which includes 3 main areas. I'm landing in the code tab. You will see it in a minute. We also have the app dashboard and the preview tab, and I'll show it in a few moments. The code tab is actually an integration with VS Code, and you can also connect to Git. We have a full GitHub integration. The AI is going to tell me now what it's going to build for me. And I can see that it's going to build a site widget, and it explains the capabilities it's going to generate for me. A page widget, etc. And now I can choose the technology, the extension that I would like to build. And this is a very new extension, the React widget, supported by Harmony sites. It's not released yet, and soon it will be, and we will surely announce about it. And the AI is starting to work to generate my code, my React widget component. In the middle, I want to show you the app dashboard. I know that most of you are familiar with the app dashboard, but it's basically the same app dashboard as you know. With the same capabilities, you can also add from here permissions, webhooks, and all of the things that you know. and configure the app info. And when you're happy with your app, you can distribute it. I'm going to go back to the code, and we are going to wait for the AI to finish his work. It will take a few moments. In the meantime, I can show you that you can connect to Git. And if you would like, you can also work from the CLI locally, and then you can push your changes to this online environment. And you can also work from the online IDE here in this online environment. The AI is about to finish his job, and then we will be able to see the new widget, the new React widget supported by Harmony sites. That's it. It's ready, and I can see the files it generated for me. We're not going to check it out now because first I want to see what he actually able to create for me. First, I need to choose a dev site before I can see the app in the real-time preview that I have. I'm going to choose one of the existing dev sites I already have. It's going to be a Harmony site since I created an extension, a React extension. And I can see the widget right on stage. This is the widget that AI helped me to create. It's actually showing me the weather, and the AI is also generated auto panels. Each panel it generated for me controls a design capability, and I can play with it. I can change the design. The users who install the app can change the design, decide on other design. And when they're happy with the widget, they can publish it to their site. I'm going to do some change in the code, and I want to see it in real time. I want to see it in the preview real time. So I'm going to change the title from New York weather to New York City weather now. And now I'm expecting it to see, voila, we have it here. You can do whatever changes in the code, and directly you will see it in the preview tab. And when I'm happy with my widget, as I said, you can publish it. Of course, you can release the app. You can continue work on it. I just want to see how it looks in the site, in the live site. And there you go. We can see the widget that was created. And now I'm going to stop sharing. As I said, currently we're in alpha stage. We're going to release soon, and we will surely announce about the release. And also regarding the React extension supported by Harmony sites, it will be released together with our new environment. And that's it for now.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Or. That was really, really exciting. It's interesting. We're seeing a lot of, with the editor, we're seeing a lot of React components, which is going to be something that Yoav will talk about in a moment. I'm going to hand it back to Yoav, who is going to talk about the future of Wix for developers and where we see the future of coding, which is changing so much so quickly in this landscape. It's kind of crazy, but here's our approach to it, and hopefully this will give you some ideas into what we're working on.
Thanks, Emmy. So we're going to talk very briefly and high level right now, just for a couple of minutes on really what's coming next. So you guys, everyone saw what we're actively working on. And I promise you, if you had to run around the office, you'd see all these teams like really pushing to get these alpha tools out quicker, and the CLI to have it have more capabilities faster. We really want to get everything to you guys as quickly as possible, and at the same time, like we want to again deliver things that that will work for you very well. So that sneak peek into what you guys saw in terms of the React components that will be available in Harmony and everywhere else is something that to me is extremely exciting. And every time I see it in action, it's really, really, really cool. And there's a lot more coming there specifically as well. What else are we working on? And right now we'll mention, but hopefully we'll also have sneak peeks of these down the line as well. So first and foremost, a lot of emphasis has been put on Harmony, but we also have the Wix Studio. So for Wix Studio, we're looking at some major upgrades that are coming through 2026. Emmy, you may want to. There you go. Thank you. So you may want to check back once in a while to see what's happening there. But I do promise you that there will be major upgrades that all of our developers who do work and who want to continue working in the studio environment will be able to enjoy. A lot of things will be able to extend a lot of stuff within the Wix environment and customizing using AI tools, all the things we've mentioned so far that will also be coming to the studio environment. We're also working to bring additional Wix integrations with AI tools. Again, we mentioned this before, N8N, ChatGPT, and so on and so forth. So a lot more capabilities coming to ChatGPT, as well as other tools. And the best place to find out about these things is in the Dev News and Discord. And we'll also do our best to publish these in other places. If you're an app builder and you're subscribed to our newsletter, great. If you're not, be in touch with us. We'll be happy to add you. And again, show off like where Wix is reaching out to in terms of external tools. And then in terms of the community and what we'd like to see moving forward. And this is Emmy, me, the rest of the community team. So first of all, tutorial and educational content. And this is where we'd love your feedback. There's a lot that's coming out in Wix. There are a lot of features that we have released, and we do release a lot of new. So these are things that are happening in the changelog. These are things that we do release in Discord in our news channel, and like I mentioned before, newsletter and so on and so forth. But if you feel that there is anything that you are missing or that you'd like to see, we'd love to know about it. It doesn't mean that we haven't planned anything. We're actually planning a lot of content, and you've probably seen a lot of stuff on our YouTube. But if you're not subscribed there, please do. Make sure that you're subscribed. You'll see Emmy doing a lot of shorts where she's giving a lot of tips on how to do a lot more in the Wix environment with tools that are already out there. And again, we're planning a lot more tutorials. I saw in the chat now a tutorial in the CLI. We are actively working on getting something out, not just one tutorial, but actually a series of modular tutorials that will be available for you guys to start using this tool properly. And also upskilling yourselves in lots of different areas. But if you do have anything that you're missing, please be in touch with us. And the second thing, community related, is more community events. So as we said, Dora will be here on Thursday in office hours to talk more about the CLI. Anyone who has attended office hours on Discord knows that this is an open forum to come and share both what you're working on for us to share with you, more insights into Wix. It's a very nice, cozy environment. It's not recorded. So these types of events where we're putting the devs first, and also we're working on having more Wix people come and join and ask you guys questions, or you ask us questions. These are the types of things that we really will be working on. So we're starting on Thursday with Dora joining us for office hours. And we'll mention here as well, and I'll be happy to post this again in Discord, that if anyone would like to meet with me for 30 minutes and give us feedback on what's happening within our community, what's happening on the Wix platform, I will publish a link in the Discord channel where I'll be happy to meet with anyone who has feedback for us, when the slots are available. So please make sure to check there, and if you do have something to say, we'd love to hear it. So that's again generally where we will be moving forward to. There's a lot more that goes beyond that. It is related to devs, but as things come out, we will be making sure that you know about them. And we will also be setting another time for an updates webinar. We found that this is a great forum to update you periodically on what's been happening and what will be happening in Wix. So again, stay tuned. You'll see another one of these on your calendar pretty soon. Emmy?
Awesome. Thanks so much, Yoav. That was really insightful, very exciting news. We're gonna answer some Q&As. These are questions that we've collected ahead of time in the Discord community. So the way our webinars work, if you're not familiar, is we will announce the webinar in the Dev News channel of our Discord server, where we will typically collect questions ahead of time. And this is just so we can ensure we have the most correct, up-to-date answers for you guys, and we can make sure that our answers are perfectly helpful and also the most correct we can make it. So here are some questions that we have collected Shout out to anyone who might have contributed. I know Kenton and Sherry, if you're here, you guys had some great questions. The first question we have is, what is the long-term strategy for existing apps and their support lifecycle, especially with the new AI app builder that or demoed and things like Harmony coming out?
So I'll start answering these, and then Doran, or if you guys have anything to add, please jump in and add. But I think the best answers, as we've written here, that the legacy extensions, they may not be receiving progressional updates as they did before, but there will be continuous support for them in their existing environment. So moving forward, if we spoke about Harmony, so we're speaking about React components that will be supported there and throughout the Wix environment. And at the same time, we are not going to be breaking anything that you've built previously as well. But looking forward, in order to ensure that you can support your app users as much as possible and also extend your own capabilities and your own reach for your own apps, we do have a migration guide, which, as you can see, is linked here, and we'll make this presentation available to you as well. But you can also find this just by going to the docs, and you will find the migration guide where you can start migrating your extensions to make sure that there's maximum compatibility across Wix. So we do recommend having a look at that. We do want to also make sure that you guys are getting the maximum exposure that you can for your app as possible. So in the end of the day, it is a business decision. It is a development decision on your part as well, but we are trying as best possible to provide the guides and tools that you need to ensure that you can migrate as best possible.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Yoav. So the next question that we have is going to be, so AI development is clearly very dominant and seems like the path forward for devs. How does Wix envision collaboration with developers in this context and landscape?
So I think first and foremost, and I mentioned this previously, we're talking about adapting workflows, and Dor mentioned this as well, that CLI, for example, is one of those tools that we use across Wix and that we want you guys to use. And so adapting different workflows and us, building tools that are enhancing and enabling new features and products, and with AI at the center, but also pushing velocity and efficient workflows is definitely where we want to go. I mentioned before as well, we don't want to compromise on, again, flexibility, robustness, and allowing you to develop, the way that you want. And at the same time, as the world is changing, we do want to make sure that, we're working with you. So dev feedback matters, of course. Any feedback that you can give us definitely makes a huge difference. We talk a lot about this in the office between the different things, and anyone who knows our team knows that we advocate as much as possible with the product teams, for developers, and to make sure that you're getting the best service that you can. Now, as we move forward, there's going to be a lot more things that we believe that you guys will be able to do with AI. And again, as you're developing things, we'd also love to hear about them. So if you have built something awesome, we'd love to see how. And this again, I go back to office hours and I go back to Discord and everywhere else. We want that voice. We want that user voice that's showing us, and that dev voice showing us exactly what you're building, and also showing us where we may have gaps, because then we'll be able to take that and understand where we can improve our product. So please do not be shy. And I say this proudly, we love to hear complaints, because that means, number one, that you care, and number two, we have what to work on, and number three, we will be delivering a better product to you, as you give us feedback. So please don't be shy.
Jumping in here from the CLI perspective, if you don't mind, Yoav, obviously.
Be my guest.
Just giving like our perspective in terms of what like AI development, how we make ourselves flexible and accessible for AI development. So we are working on and bringing in a lot of changes that we want to see in the new CLI, and we want to start implementing that make us more 0 to 100 with AI friendly and AI leading the path of the development for you. Those in high levels are being putting non-interactiveness as a CLI tool, right? You want to be as AI friendly as you can in terms of running and executing things in the CLI. So the CLIs do not communicate with interface, AIs do not communicate with interface the way that we do, and the CLI is one big interface, and we need to make it AI accessible and friendly so it can navigate the way for you and not request your assistance every time that it needs to do something with the CLI. We're also taking a look into directions of making the CLI's part more bare bones and more core, and giving the AI the flexibility to use more frameworks and a variety of frameworks that and tools and coding tools that it wants to use in order to bring the best product for your requirements, and still using the CLI as the powerhouse for this, and not being bound and not something that limits it, but enriching what the AI chose to use. So that's like another direction that we're taking, and those are the the highlight, not the highlight, but our North Star of like being seamless setup, flexible, and AI first in terms of interface. And hopefully we have some good upcoming showcases with this that I want to plan, and we'll get to once we implement those things. Yeah, so that's
Awesome.
that's it.
Cool. Anything more to add to this one you have?
I'm good.
Cool. Sounds great. We're going to move on to the next question in that case. So in response to all these changes, what frameworks should developers adopt for future-proof projects? And what do we recommend for developers?
Well, it's a very interesting question because things are changing so quickly, and it is if you look on X or Twitter or LinkedIn, like so many tools are coming out and so many frameworks are coming out. I think our first recommendation is first of all to understand the tools. So CLI, MCP, skills, integrations that are available, things like NA10, ChatGPT, of course, any of those like AI dev tools that you can master, I think will be serving you great because these things are here, they're running forward, they're probably here to stay for a very long time. And so getting to know the tools themselves and how they work, by the way, not just on Wix, but generally. So we talk a lot about the Wix MCP, but there may be other MCPs that are available for you to use also with the Wix headless and the Wix MCP and skills and so on and so forth. So there's a lot in understanding those tools in order to use the various frameworks. Now, when it comes to frameworks, Dor demoed what a project looks like, and that is based on Astro. So we do recommend, of course, getting to know Astro and getting to know its integrations and extensions, and seeing how those work. And I will also mention that, and this is mentioned in our docs, I do recommend going back and reading our docs. That if you're one of those people that did come from more of a Valo background and you know JavaScript, but you're less familiar with things like TypeScript and Node.js, we have a lot of documentation on that. And it's also worth getting to know that as well, at least at a basic level. And when I say getting to know that, I also want to put it out there. Guys, we're in an AI era where so much is happening, but also so much is being done for us. It really is an exciting time and an exciting place to create opportunities. You can learn, develop, upskill yourself, deliver new solutions to clients that you either couldn't do before because of, again, velocity and time, or because of skills. And so my top recommendation here on this on the slide is to really explore as much as you can within the environments and within your own workflows that you've been working with, and not to limit yourself. You'll be breaking glass ceilings that were there for years and now have just been broken in a couple of months. So that's my take on it. Again, happy to if the team wants to add anything else to this. But I think it's very, very, very exciting for anyone who's in web development at the moment.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I wanted to add that since we were seeing so many things that, like the app builder and being able to have the code there in React and things like Harmony, it very much feels like Like I know our devs had the issue of I don't feel like I own my website versus if I code it myself. And I know there's been a lot of discussions with AI and um, definitely pros and cons of using it, but I think it definitely made the things that we're working on now, making that code part of the website and all of the apps and components more accessible, not just to devs, but to everybody. I think the AI boom definitely helped accelerate that and helped get it to where it is today and where it's going to be in the future. And I think in the long term, it will be pretty awesome for devs to have access to that base code so that you'll be able to use, I don't know, the React tutorials you see online and then paste it over or paste over a component that a community member made and have it perfectly go into your site. I think that's super powerful and really exciting for us. Um, Anything else to add to this question? Cool. We only have one more question for today, and it's going to be more of a tips and tricks sort of thing. So what are the current best practices for using the MCP efficiently? Kenton, this one is for you, my friend. We would love to know what tips for prompting you have.
My tips, I think I was the one who wrote up the slides, so these are mine. But again, it's totally the team here can again chime in. First of all, as Dor mentioned, we also have skills, so it's worth getting to know skills and how you'd use those, and what skills are versus MCP. But if we're using the MCP, so yes, of course, you want to prompt as specifically as possible. Tell the MCP what project type you're using, tell it which website you're working on. Definitely use the word Wix in the prompt, and don't expect it to know that you're talking about Wix just out of the box. Mention which API. So if you know the method that you're using, you know the API that you're using, you want to get your site properties, for example, and retrieve the site's country. So again, that's a good prompt to use versus saying just like, what's my website's, country definition. The more specific you can be with the method, obviously, the more direct it will be, like in terms of, going to the documentation and finding it. And I do this a lot when I start, at least definitely with initial prompts, those prompts that, you start to build an app or a website with. I use AI to revise my initial prompt and, get it off the ground when I have not a prompt of two lines, but a prompt of, a good chunk of lines that is telling the tool exactly what to do. If you're using Cursor, you can avoid extra token usage, but also, connected to that revised prompt thing, use the plan mode. A huge, huge win, I think, for any dev project that you're working with when you're going to plan something, ahead of time, so you'll be able to see the plan and see exactly what the tool is going to do. And I really like the updates recently where it's actually giving you the structure, like the architecture, like what functions are invoked where and how things are working. It really paints a great picture for you. So it also saves you on the tokens and also gives you the plan to review before you actually go and implement it. Final thing, at least for me, is to definitely use the MCP for things that you understand, but you don't want to do manually. So I know that service plugins, when I write them, I always get confused, or I'm not sure exactly which configuration goes where, or maybe I've written something 1,000 times, I just don't want to write it again. If I am now giving that to the tool and I'm making sure that it's doing a good job, great. I've saved a lot of time, and who doesn't want to save time? At the same time, I will say, even though the MCP is a great tool and does a lot of amazing stuff, you always want to make sure that it's not making any mistakes. We always see that like little, asterisks on top of any AI tool to say, be careful, AI can make mistakes. So this is the same thing, obviously with our MCP, but also with any tool that you'll be working with. So you definitely want to make sure that you're controlling the code base, that you understand what it's doing, that you're testing it, that you're building it, step by step, and that you're prompting it, properly. Those are my tips.
Awesome. I think the first one is especially important for me, specifying what kind of project you're working on and which APIs it should be searching through. If you wanted to use Wix stores or bookings APIs, just specifically name dropping those has really helped me. And also the AI is so important for just revising the prompts because sometimes I don't know what I'm supposed to say in the prompt and what information it could be lacking. And that's really helpful to do. I know you can also change the model types if you're on cursor. So I think by default it's on automatic and we'll use the best model that it thinks. But sometimes I found more success with one model over the other. I think Gemini and Claude are both pretty good. But yeah, glad you guys are using the MCP, and thank you so much, Yoa, for your tips and all these great responses.
My pleasure.
And that is it for our presentation. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. Hopefully, we will have more of these to come. We'll announce them and have more events just like this in the Discord community where you can join in this link. We have office hours every other Thursday at 1 p.m. EST, which is when this webinar started. But we're looking to maybe expand into more time zones in the future as well if you can't make it. And next event that we have is we have office hours in 2 days with none other than Dor from the CLI team. So if you have any more burning questions about the CLI, I know he is a very popular person to talk to. So it's going to be a really exciting session. It will be in the Discord voice channel, and I'm really excited for you guys to join us. And lastly, happy Lunar New Year to everyone who celebrates. It is the first day of Lunar New Year today, or yesterday if you're in Asia right now. And yeah, thank you so much to our speakers, Yoav, Dor, and Or for your contributions, and for Tuvit for answering questions in the Discord or on the YouTube channel. And thank you all so much for joining. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Okay, I ended it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Okay, I stopped recording. This